Hey guys, it's me, Freddy Pop Collector, and welcome to episode 2 of Fixing Five Nights at Freddy's. Pretty interesting story behind this video. For those of you who have seen my community post, this video was originally ready to go and uploading on Tuesday, but when I was exporting it, the files corrupted, which basically means both the audio and visuals for that entire video was unusable. I don't know why or how that happened, but I just wanted to apologize for this video being so late. I had to redo it from scratch, and I've been really trying to work hard to get this out as soon as I can. It just sucks because that was 7 hours of my life completely down the drain, but hey, I think I put a lot more time into this one, and it looks a lot better than that first draft, so that's something positive, right? But anyway, enough rambling, let's get into episode 2 of Fixing Five Nights at Freddy's. For those of you who don't know what this series is, basically I'll go through each of the FNAF games, FNAF 1 all the way to AR Special Delivery, and explain what I would change about them. Each game will have their own episode, and this is episode 2 covering Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Keep in mind also that I'm not implying that any of the FNAF games are broken or bad in any way, it's just stuff that I would change to make the games feel more immersive and more intertwined. If I could go back and change the FNAF games, I wouldn't, but if they were ever remastered in some way, this is just stuff I would personally change. This video will be divided into 3 categories: gameplay, lore, and other. So without further ado, let's jump into episode 2 of Fixing Five Nights at Freddy's. Now let me just start off by saying, I think FNAF 2's gameplay is probably one of the most solid in the franchise. There's very few dull moments, especially in the later nights. FNAF 2 in particular does a great job of utilizing all the mechanics it has to offer, like the flashlight mask and looking on the cameras to wind up the music box. But these mechanics really do get repetitive after a while, especially the mask. Withered, Foxy, and Puppet being the only 2 animatronics that aren't fooled by the mask is kind of repetitive, and something else could have been done here. The first gameplay change I would make to spice up the mechanics a little bit is an ability to hide under the desk. I think the toy animatronic should still be fooled by the mask, but when a withered animatronic enters your office, you hide under the desk. This breaks the repetitive cycle a little bit, because when an animatronic enters your office and you hear this static sound that plays when an animatronic is in your office, you have to see if it's a toy or withered animatronic and choose the appropriate mechanic. Another small gameplay change I would add is the animatronics that spawn in the hallway, like Withered, Bonnie, Toy Chica, and Mangle, can still come through the front of the office. This is just one example, but the point here is that each animatronic shouldn't have its own set path and should be able to come through multiple routes to get into the office. Having BB always coming through the left, Toy Bonnie always coming through the right, Withered Freddy and Toy Freddy always coming through the front, it just really gets predictable, and I think they should shake things up a little bit. There are a few more small changes, like Toy Freddy playing the Toreador March when you run out of power, and maybe Endo02 could attack you when he's in the vent, but besides that, that's about it. Like I said, FNAF 2's gameplay is definitely one of its strong suits. There wasn't really that much to complain about, most of it was just adding on mechanics, so let's just move on to the lore section. Like the gameplay, FNAF 2's lore is definitely an improvement on the first one. In fact, I'd go as far as to say FNAF 2's lore is definitely the best of the original 4 games and the most understandable. Through the 8-bit minigames, we get confirmation of the puppet's origins, we get confirmation that there were 5 kids murdered in this location, 5 kids murdered in the previous location, Puppet bringing these kids to life by stuffing them in the suits. We know this takes place in 1987 thanks to the paycheck, so this is most likely where the Bite of 87 occurred. The biggest questions I have for this game's lore in particular is, what is JJ, and are the toy animatronics actually possessed? There's multiple theories out there that JJ actually came from Circus Baby's Pizza World along with Balloon Boy, and while that would make sense, we don't even know if JJ's real or not, or is a hallucination. We just don't know. A lot of people think the toy animatronics are possessed. I've seen a lot of people say that they're corrupted. There's just not enough evidence to prove it either way. Besides these very small FNAF 2 lore fixes, I'd say the lore is definitely one of the best in the series. I definitely have a lot to say about the lore in future episodes like FNAF 3, 4, Sister Location, Pizzeria Simulator, Ultimate Custom Night, but as for FNAF 2, its lore in my eyes is basically perfection. And that finally brings us to the other section. As I'm sure we all know, FNAF 2's 1020 mode is probably one of the harder 20 modes out there, and just like how Sister Location had a cutscene for beating Golden Freddy 1020 mode, I think FNAF 2 should do the same thing, only I think this cutscene should show us the Bite of 87. This would for one get rid of that stupid rumor that this right here is the Bite of 87, as I'm sure we all know this isn't the Bite of 87, this is the Bite of 83, and I also think it would be a nice reward instead of just another star on the menu. Speaking of the menu, I think after you beat Night 5, you should unlock an extras menu. Here you can see all the animatronics, including the Easter egg ones when you find them, and also, of course, all the other extra menu stuff like behind the scenes, jump scares, minigames, stuff like that. And the final note I have on this other section is maybe the ventilation system could be a little bit bigger, similar to FNAF 3's. Maybe there could be 2 layers to the map instead of just having one room leads to one vent leads to the office. And with all that being said, that's gonna wrap up fixing Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Once again, I'm sorry this episode was so late. I'm planning on releasing these fixing FNAF videos weekly, so FNAF 3 will hopefully be next week. I also wanted to really quick thank you guys so much. We're almost at 30,000 subscribers. We should hopefully hit that milestone sometime today or tomorrow, so thank you guys so much. And with all that being said, that's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me in the comments if you guys want fixing FNAF 3. Leave a like also if you want fixing FNAF 3. That's the best way to let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.